A Spokane woman won the jackpot and days later was found dead in her home. We'll tell you what Spokane police say about her suspicious death.
On Monday, Spokane Public Schools is welcoming back its remaining students, but not everyone is feeling the excitement.
Snow this morning. Now we have a wind advisory in effect through Friday. All of that and your weekend forecast next.
We jumped into the virtual realm of conducting a race, and let's spread our wings even farther.
Bloomsday making a huge reveal today, and tonight we're getting a first look at the new poster and bibs for 2021.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Welcome everyone. I'm Whitney Ward. Well, we want to talk about what is happening right now. The Coeur d'Alene Public School Board voting tonight on returning students to in-person classes full time. That means kids in classrooms 5 days a week. So right now this meeting still ongoing. It is being live streamed right now on the district's YouTube page.
For now, students are attending school 4 times a week, with Wednesdays being used as remote learning days. Coeur d'Alene Press, a KREM 2's news partner, reports that some teachers are in favor of the remote learning on Wednesday, citing it gives them more time to work with struggling students, while others showed a mixed response. So coming up on KREM 2 News at 6 tonight, we bring you the latest from the vote and the results. Well, next week, thousands of middle and high school students in Spokane will be returning to the classrooms for their first time in nearly a year. It is the next step in Spokane Public Schools' plan to phase students back to in-person learning.
KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones actually talked with a high school senior today about what this will mean for their education.
Last March, right inside of this building, a press conference was held announcing all Spokane public schools would be shutting their doors because of the coronavirus. Little did they know in that moment it would take a full year before all students could return to in-person learning.
I personally have a fairly negative opinion about going back at this point.
While students make preparations for the return, there's mixed emotions on the timing.
I'm a senior and I have 5 AP classes.
A little under 4 months remain in the school year. SPS has been slowly phasing students back into the classroom since October. The process began with kindergarten, then progressed up the ladder to other grades. Beginning on March 1st, a hybrid schedule will start here at places like North Central High School. Students will have a blend of both in-person learning and remote learning. Virtual classes will continue on days that students aren't in the building. SPS is going with this format to reduce student populations in schools to meet health and safety requirements. Days on campus will be divided between 2 groups, alternating which day of the week students have in the classroom.
I have a lot of respect for their dedication to keeping us safe, even if I have some concerns about the actual effectiveness.
Catherine Dunakey is a senior at North Central. The adjustment to virtual learning hasn't been too much of a challenge over the course of this pandemic. She's already been accepted into a university. The main thing on Catherine's mind is passing her advanced placement classes.
I would enjoy getting to go to prom at some point, or not having to not bring anyone with me to graduation, but it's not honestly my priority because school is ultimately about getting an education.
Along with the new schedule on Monday, new protocols will also be in place. A daily health check will be required. Students will complete a brief survey answering whether they've experienced any COVID symptoms. Face masks must be worn at all times. Disposable masks will be provided to those who don't have one when they arrive at school. From Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
And in the meantime, 36 bus drivers who contract with Spokane Public Schools are still off of work after contracting or being exposed to COVID-19. Parents say they feel their concerns are not being acknowledged by the district right now. They've reached out to KREM. They say that they are even feeling uncomfortable with their kids riding those buses. SPS says it is working with Durham, which is the company that runs the district's buses, to make sure that they abide by all of the district's safety protocols.
Durham did connect with their school bus drivers and their other staff to kind of reiterate these are the health and safety protocols that you should be following.
The district says its biggest concern right now is making sure the students feel comfortable on the buses, and they want to reassure families they are doing all they can to keep kids safe. But because they are separate companies, sometimes information, they say, gets lost in translation. Our Morgan Trow will be breaking down what we know so far and the questions that we still have and the answers tonight at 6.
Our breaking news tonight, Governor Inslee addressing Washington's reopening plan, saying we'll stay in phase 2 for at least 2 weeks. Political reporter Casey Decker brings us the very latest on that situation tonight. Casey?
Yeah, guys, it's another modification to this reopening plan. Before tonight, the idea was that every 2 weeks, the state would publish updates on 4 key data points for each region. If a region met benchmarks for at least 3 of them, they could either advance to or stay in phase 2. If not, they'd either stay in or be booted back to phase 1. But now Inslee is putting a stop to all that. No more data being published, no more moving between phases. The whole state is currently in phase 2, and that's where we'll stay until further notice. For businesses, that's both bad news and good news. Bad news in that we still don't know when a phase 3 might be possible. In fact, we still have no idea what a phase 3 would even look like. But good news in that this will provide some stability. Businesses will no longer have to fear that the region will go back to phase 1. So, why the change? Well, Inslee says it's because the current restrictions, protocols, and vaccination efforts are working. Take a look at this graph he shared today. You can see that huge spike starting in November and going through the holiday season into 2021. Now those numbers are starting to steadily and pretty significantly decline. Inslee says all that means Washington is no longer in such a dire state when it comes to the coronavirus, and such a dramatic contingency plan in the reopening is no longer required.
And given that unprecedented level that we had in December, we had to design our reopening plan so that it was very sensitive to the potential that COVID would come springing back. But under our current data trends and the progress we've made to knock down this third wave, they've told us that we don't need this really hair trigger circuit breaker, if you will. And so I'm really happy about being able to announce this today.
Now, as for that phase 3, Inslee did say he might have an announcement on that in several weeks. But again, it's looking like with a few possible minor exceptions, the current restrictions will be the restrictions we're sticking with for quite a while. Whitney, Mark?
Casey, thank you very much. Well, there was no shortage of questions and claims about the COVID-19 vaccines, and that's where the KREM 2 Verify team comes in. We work to separate fact from fiction. One viewer reached out to us to ask if he and his wife should get vaccinated. He said they both have had COVID, have since recovered, and have now tested positive for antibodies. And now he wonders if they should still get the vaccine even if they have the antibodies. So I took his question to an expert. Is it recommended that we still get the vaccine if we're still positive with the antibodies? So you can hear her answer in my Verify report coming up on KREM 2 News at 10 and 11 o'clock tonight.
A winter storm raged on early this morning, so some firefighters from Cheney decided to make the best out of it, and they sure did. Take a look at this video. The firemen joining together to make a snow prince, that's what they said, out at Veterans Memorial Park. By the way, we love this kind of stuff. If you have any other weather pictures or videos from today's snow, wherever you were, we would love to see them. It's very easy. You just download the KREM 2 app and use the Near Me section to submit your content, and you might just see it right here on KREM 2. So on that note, that's kind of the plus side about all this snow. Yes, we know that there were accidents this morning. Aside from the driving conditions, which were very slippery this morning, it melted off really well, and so people now are kind of having a chance to see the fun side of it all.
Yeah, it was tough for the morning commute,
Right.
no doubt about that. But my gosh, any roads that were plowed or driveways that were shoveled, it has all melted off now as temperatures have climbed into the low 40s. Now, what we're worried about is the wind advisory. It's blowing out there right now and will continue to blow through Friday at 4 in the afternoon. Wind advisory calling for wind gusts in some areas up to 40 and 45 miles per hour. That's everywhere shaded in that yellow, which includes the Spokane area down towards Whitman County and of course across central and the lower central Washington and the lower Columbia Basin. Right now we're at 39 degrees and the average wind speed at the airport is out of the west-southwest at 23 miles per hour. Tracking some rain and snow showers, mostly in the Idaho Palouse. Let's get a closer look at this for you right now. Colfax, it looks like you're getting a little bit of snow just now beginning to move into your area. It was rain just before it ran into that colder air near Colfax, and then changes back over to snow. And we've also got some snow showers still occurring across areas of the Idaho, Palouse, and northern Shoshone County. Day planner forecast calling for windy conditions continuing through tomorrow. 31 will be the overnight low. We'll look for a daytime high of 41 on your Friday. Much better chance of snow and rain showers in northern Idaho, less across areas of Washington State. For the weekend, right now it looks dry, sunny and 41 on Saturday, sunny and 40 on Saturday, and 41 degrees expected on Sunday. Well, like we said before this morning, it made for a messy commute, and now the snow that hit the inland northwest also causing some problems up in the Cascades. I-90 was among the major highways that was impacted. Here to give us an update on the main passes is meteorologist Thomas Patrick, who is live out at the Outdoor Weather Center. Thomas,
hey there.
How are the passes looking right now?
Yeah, and even though things have calmed down in Spokane quite significantly, we know that the terrain and the mountains always influence our weather patterns to the point where we usually will still see that remaining snowfall over the mountains, even if we're not seeing it in our area cities. Here is what all of the mountain passes look like across our region. Of course, you see the Cascade passes, the two top images here, with Stevens Pass looking quite nasty. In fact, WashDOT said that chains are now required or all-wheel drive across Stevens Pass. All-wheel tire or snow tires recommended over Snoqualmie Pass at the moment. Lookout Pass has been plowed at least once, but it is looking worse than 4th of July Pass just because it is at a higher elevation. Now the snowfall continues over the mountains both tonight and throughout the entire day tomorrow. Even though I'm focusing on the Cascade Passes over here on the map, it is the same story over Idaho and Montana in the northern Rockies as well. That snowfall will continue pretty much all day long tomorrow, with winter storm warnings for 1 to 3 feet of snow to fall over the Cascades. There is a considerable avalanche danger, but that's actually downgraded from high and extreme from earlier in the week. So in terms of those conditions, I don't think we'll see any avalanche related closures or cleanup in that regards, but the road conditions will likely be quite nasty through 10 p.m. tomorrow evening.
Yeah, avoid the pass if you can, Thomas. Thank you very much.